Hi, hello. I'm a random person on the internet who loves caffeine so much that I made my whole branding from my art account. So while you're here, maybe consider sticking around while I chat and do some art. Today, I thought that would talk about Secret of the Mimic and my personal thoughts of the game before it comes out. Which I didn't schedule this correctly. Everyone made their Secret of the Mimic videos and predictions the week before. So this is going to be on a Thursday or Friday. I'm hoping I can get this out in time because currently it is Monday night. And I haven't, yeah, I have a bit to go as recording this. My chair is a bit loud. But originally this was supposed to be a very unscripted Fnaf timeline video as a Fnaf fan that's not casual, but isn't a Fnaf theorist. Instead, I draw stuff. But I'm doing Secret of the Mimic fan art, so I think for the long and short of it, I'll just talk about that. So I actually have 2 pages, and will probably rant past these 2 pages, so where to start? Because I've written the page with my timeline. Okay, let's start with the first topic, Fall Fest. I wrote a question mark for it. So I don't actually have this whole video is very unscripted. I just have bullet points. So Fall Fest. Some people think in the community that we might find it, we might see it, or parts of it. I think we might get a teaser or two that teases us through it. Maybe some posters. I think we've actually already seen posters. No, I think that was through Help Wanted 2, not specifically Secret of the Mimic. Through what we've gotten. However, yeah, I think it's likely, and even with Fall Fest, I think characters like, well, my personal favorite, Swinging Bee. I definitely think it's likely that. I want them to be a Fazbear character, however, I think it's more than likely, and through the posters that we've been getting, that it's more than likely to just be through a third party. However, I definitely want to see more of Swing and Bee, because they are awesome. So, I like Dorko's recent thought of there being a DLC for Secret of the Mimic in the future if Secret of the Mimic, the original game, doesn't actually feature Fall Fest, and they could showcase Fall Fest in the DLC. I don't mind that idea, but by looks of it so far, I just think that it will be through posters, maybe log tapes. I like the idea of finding log tapes, maybe video recordings, or just something. I think we'll get more hints and nudges, some evidence of Fall Fest and what happened. It's it's heavily implied that it did go ablaze. So maybe we will find um maybe we'll find some nudges to what actually happened in all those years ago. I also really want to see the original FNAF crew stylized similar to what we see in I know we recently got a Spring Bonnie bobblehead that a few creators got in, specifically FNAF. So I'm hoping we can find more stuff like that. I think that would be fun. I don't think there's any other notes on Fall Fest that I have at the moment. However, I will come back to it if I do come up with any. I'm hesitant to think it's in 1979, mainly because of the fact that I think it's highly likely that we have been sent in to collect the mimic. We are being sent in to collect the mimic. However, there have already been 2 teams in the timeline that have done that according to the books. So, and that seemed rough, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that seemed close to when Security Breach was being built, because the mimic. However, I'm thinking now, it could have been 1979 that they did come there. So I guess my theory is more so that we are the 3rd team. I like people's idea of it being Henry, or even William. However, I think it'd also be a possibility too for like this ultimate twist. It was Edwin in a disguise. Kind of like Mike going undercover for Bears. Like, oh, this is my dad's business, but you guys don't know me? Okay, yep. If they hired a rotting corpse later on, is it very unlikely for them to hire Edwin Murray, the guy that went missing without realizing? I don't know, just my hat in the ring. Yeah, I'm mainly on the idea that we are the 3rd. I want to say team, but that's not right, because by the looks of it, we are solo person. Although it would be very cool if we played as multiple people, but they get cut off and they die within the game. And then you switch to person to person. However, knowing FNAF, I would think it's a little bit of a stretch with their gameplay, and we would most likely have seen multiple people, living people, in the gameplay trailer. So, yeah, it can still be 1979. So I subtract my like that part. Please don't come at me. But yeah, I think we are the 3rd. We're the 3rd. Switches from 2 teams to 1 person. So I don't know what to call it, but we're we've been chosen 3rd from Fazbear Entertainment. Who do I think we play as? I kind of want to put my hat in the ring and say Edwin Murray. Because realistically, he would know how to beat the Mimic by the end of the game. Unless there's a 4th team that comes in after this one dude dies. But that narratively send 2 teams and 1 person, that person, narratively, it would be more compelling for them to stop it. So, you know what? I'm gonna put my hat in the ring. I think Edwin Murray comes to collect the Mimic undercover. Why, though, is the question. And for that, I don't have any reasons, so let's keep on drafting. Who else? It could be very likely a random person we have never met. However, again, narratively, it has to be this big reveal of a person because you go from 2 teams to bringing in the big guns with this one person. So I feel like Henry or William, it's just too much of a big shot, and for some, I don't know why. Maybe more so Henry, because he's known as the builder of the animatronics compared to William, who's more the businessman, even though he's made animatronics too. I feel like Henry, there is a lot of similarities, and before more people thought the books were canon. People thought Edwin was a parallel. So, yeah. It could be Henry. I think that's more likely than William. But again, it feels a bit dodgy to know, unless he didn't know. But it feels a bit confusing if it was Henry. And Cassie's dad is, well, I'm like many others the believer that he was the body bully. So unless they're hiring a child 4 years before the big boy, yeah, I don't think that's likely. So who else is there? I don't know why William would go to collect the mimic, unless he found it fascinating and one of the secrets, I think there might be multiple secrets before a big reveal, which I will that's for later on. But why would, unless he found it fascinating, I'm going off Rye Toast at the moment, with one of his theories that he doesn't believe in fully in himself, and I'm also in that boat where Henry, William said, "If my brain fails, you will live on." So he could have found the mimic fascinating in some sorts, wanted to experiment. There is a connection between sister location through Bruin, as we are shown the scooper. So, yeah, maybe Secret of the Mimic is going down in that way. I don't know. Oh boy. But beside Henry, William, Edwin, who else could there be? And also a person we have never met. I think that's it. I think that's it. However, yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna order this. The three characters, the three main characters that we know that could be. Okay, this is definitely gonna be one of my controversial hats in the ring. Well, actually, I don't know how people think. Anyway, I'm gonna go Edwin Murray, actually, William Afton, and then Henry. It feels really, yeah. I feel like Secret of the Mimic has been very mysterious. You know, Secret of the Mimic is secretive. So I have no clue where the story is gonna go. And I think I'm not alone in that. And also, as a reminder, I am not a Fnaf theorist. I'm an artist. I do art, not Fnaf theories. I watch Fnaf theories, but I do not. I am not good at theories. So I am just putting my hat in the ring. Because basically, if I'm right with any of these things, I can say, haha, I'm right. And if I'm wrong, well, it's a very close to Secret of the Mimic, so hopefully, maybe not many people will see it if I'm wrong. No. So, move on to the player. What else is there besides the big secret, which I think it is? What I think it is. Let me look on my. Oh, like Minnie, I think there might be a fire. Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. I have an idea for the ending. I just came up with it, so that's why I'm excited. I think that we will get the mimic and we will be watching it perform inside a mascot costume at the upcoming Fall Fest. Wait, give me a second. I am going to actually check when the last Fall Fest was. Okay. So the last Fall Fest date was 1983. So unless there's a time jump, it might be unlikely. My idea was that the mimic would perform and a fire would break down, burning the mimic. And there was like this one final scene, like a battle fight, a more intense match, hopefully, than Burn Trap, the Burn Trap ending and Security Breach. But if the last recorded one was in 1983, I'm starting to think that's a lot less likely. So, unless there's a time jump, I'm gonna. I mean, it is also possible it did happen in 1979, and they did 3 more years, 1989, like a few-ish more years of Fall Fest up until 1983, but they just didn't grab traction. Yeah, that is also a possibility, but I feel like with that, we would have our slices of cake. We get a fire. We get Fall Fest. We get the mimic. Well, we're already getting the mimic, but you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, like Minnie, I think that it will end with a fire, as described in the books. The mimic is said to have bits. The mimic has been stated and the mimic has been described in the books to have been looking like he has been burnt in a fire before. I don't know if I should go into like the glitch trap program because I don't think it's relevant to Secret of the Mimic. It seemed to go a little bit later than but then you have Help B. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go into Help B, not in Help Wanted 2 and Help Wanted and just the glitch trap program. Glitch trap 1. The Mimic 1 program. Fnaf is confusing. This is why I am not a theorist. Okay, I think helpy or helper being in Secret of the Mimic actually makes sense. So I think we should talk about helpy or helper. Yeah, I think it makes complete sense. Silence for a gasp from you. Yeah, it seems to be the persona that Glitch Trap, one of the many personas Glitch Trap takes a hold of. So, similar to the Glitch Trap mascot being theorized to look like the original Spring Bonnie costume, I think it makes complete sense for Helpy to be a old mascot. And Monty seems to have originated somewhere else, same with Music Man. I wish I recorded this all at once. Fuck. But let's discuss what everyone is waiting for. What is the secret that might be revealed in Secret of the Mimic? Well, I actually think that it will be revealed that the Mimic is possessed by David, Edwin Murray's son, that was killed in a car crash. Now, personally, I believe in this person's theory. This will be up on screen and the link will be in the video. But for the life of me, I cannot remember their name at the moment. But if you want to hear more on why I think about this, why I think this, go check them out. They're awesome. And I loved their theory. But in the long and short of it, similar to the puppet, the DCI, it doesn't have to be direct to, give me a second, similar to Dave, who possesses Golden Freddy, they just have to have a emotional connection by the looks of it when it comes to looking at possession in this franchise. And I think it would be this really cool twist that David is still here. And, cool twist of fate. Maybe that's why Edwin could be our protagonist. He found out. He's looking for his son, who, well, how do I put this? Is, dead, but maybe he's trying to free him from the suit, knowing that possession's a thing. It could also be the reason on why William could be also the protagonist. It could be one of the first instances of possession in this franchise. Before Dave. I don't think it makes too many complications with the franchise in terms of timeline issues. So I think it's 100% possible, and that is my big hat in the ring. I think David possesses the Mimic. And with that, I don't think I have much else to say. I was going to talk about the puppet implications since Jackie's music box is the same as the puppet. However, I really don't actually have any thoughts about it. I don't have any theories. So I'm going to wait until Secret of the Mimic. We did actually get some new teasers today as finishing recording. I recorded up until the Helpy section, but didn't have time to record the last little bit. So far what we got today was what I believe 2 Scott Games Twitter account posted, I think, 2 videos which had 3 hidden YouTube URLs for unlisted videos on Steelwool's web YouTube, which gave us gameplay. One of Jackie, Maestro Music Man, and Dolly. Which, funny enough, as much as I'd like to say that in this video I predicted Dolly wasn't gonna be good, which was actually my thoughts, I not trust her. She looks too close to Sister Location to be good, you know. If they look like they could be part of Sister Location, they're most likely not good. I don't actually think Dolly is a part of Sister Location though. I just I see some design qualities that remind me of the Sister Location animatronics. But yeah, I never thought she was. I didn't think she was going to be the good guy, and it doesn't look like she was ever going to be the good. Actually, maybe she turns. I don't know. We'll find out in the new game, which by the looks of it, I am so excited for it. Seeing the gameplay today, I am so excited. I think this could be one of my new favorite FNAF games. Which, if you find out my current FNAF game, you would probably tell me my opinion is wrong. It's FNAF 2. I like FNAF 2. I like playing it. Anyway, so let's do a recap on my big ones. Which, if I can remember, it was... Give me a second. I think that was it. Okay, I think I got it all. So the main points are that for the protagonist, I think it is most likely to be either Edwin Murray or William Afton. Or personally, that's just my preferable favorites. Again, this is my thoughts and small theories that other people had. So I also think that the ending could be us seeing Fall Fest and it's setting ablaze. Which, seeing the Dolly gameplay doesn't seem so likely anymore. But who knows? I think Helper making it into Secret of the Mimic makes complete sense. I think we will see at least some nods to Fall Fest, but I'm hoping we can still see the actual full thing, whether in this game or a DLC. And lastly, I think the Mimic is possessed by David, Edwin Murray's son. And with that, spoilers for the game ahead. Sorry that this is very rough in terms of the audio. Well, we know why we got so many gameplay teasers today. People such as Darko got part
of the game early by looks of it. And according to one comment that I saw before actually, watching it, it doesn't look like my claim on the protagonist was at all correct. That is all I'm gonna say. Yeah. I hope you were able to listen to this in the background. Maybe you were doing some art yourself whenever you have watched this. I hope you have a lovely day and maybe consider subscribing. And with that, goodbye.